Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 180th day of school, otherwise known as the last day of school. Today, you'll get your 2016-2017 schedules. We want to start by saying that the schedules are not complete. We repeat, the schedules are not complete. They will not be complete until registration day, which this year is August 10th. Counselors have spent the last 2 weeks going through just over 1,100 schedules and resolving as much as we could in those schedules. So if there were conflicts or issues with the schedule, we moved things around and tried to work those out. If we couldn't work them out, we left them for today for you to look at and decide what you would like to keep and what may not work for you. So the schedules that you get in homeroom today, the one thing that will not be on there are PLTs. There will just be blank spaces where your PLTs will be scheduled. The first thing we want you to do is just check if your courses are correct, if they are indeed the courses you signed up for. We want you to check for overlaps. This is important that you circle those overlaps and really get a feel for if they're ones that you can work with or not. If you're missing a class altogether, what that means is we deleted it from your schedule because it truly could not fit in any way, shape, or form. It was directly conflicting with another class, and typically if we deleted a class, it was an elective class, and it was competing with a core class. So if you're missing a class, that is probably why. So what we want you to do is start by just neatly circling your overlaps. Again, counselors have checked all the overlaps. We've tried to move courses into different spaces within your schedule, and we could not do that. That's why the overlaps still exist. We've also tried to resolve any lunch overlaps or conflicts. So know that where lunches are, we've tried to move things around to make your lunches work and can't at this point. So just reflect on those overlaps and decide if they're doable. And then let us know which course you would like to drop, if any. You certainly can keep an overlap if it may work for you, if it's only one that involves maybe a 30-minute mod or 1 day a week. Certainly leave it on there, but if you'd like to drop one of the two courses, please just let us know. Again, we've already tried to resolve these, so you need to decide at this point. So we want you to write notes on your schedule. On the front page of your schedule, on the upper right-hand side of the front page, we want you to let us know what you would like us to do in the situation of overlaps. And when you're done writing notes for us, we want you to hand back in your schedule today to your homeroom teacher. If you don't need anything adjusted, just write okay and initial at the top of the first page. That means you're okay with the way things fell, and we can leave the schedule as is. Teachers, just a reminder, if students are absent, please note that on their schedules and turn in those schedules with all of the other homeroom students. We want to make sure that we get in contact with those students who weren't able to look over theirs today. We want you to have patience with this process. Again, we have a lot of students and a lot of schedules to go over. So if we cannot resolve something that you requested, we will try to resolve it via email or an appointment during our summer office hours, and we'll tell you when those are right at the end here. Now, schedule changes. This is always an interesting point of contention, I guess you could say. We reiterate to you guys again and again that the courses that you request in February build the master schedule, and we base staffing on it, we base section numbers on it, and so coming back and asking us to change your schedule after the master schedule has been run is very, very difficult. Oftentimes classes are full and it just isn't possible. The way that we look at it is from February until about late April, early May, you've had a solid 3 months to adjust those requests if you needed to. So hopefully you did it during that time before the master schedule was run and while it was being built. If not, at this point, it's going to be very, very difficult to be doing any schedule changes at this point. If you want to drop a class, that's not a problem at all. If you have enough credits, which is 6 credits minimum for juniors and sophomores, some seniors can drop down to 5.5. you can drop a class. That's not a problem. So if you're scheduled for 7 credits or 6.5 credits and you have a conflict and you want to drop a class and it leaves you at 6 credits, that's absolutely fine. Go ahead and drop the class. Just list the one you want to drop. Adding the class. This is where it becomes difficult. Trying to find a class that is going to fit into your schedule that's already pretty complicated. So our general rule is going to be no. So look at the sad face on the right hand corner. Of course, that's not what your counselors look like when you come down. It may be what we look like on the inside, but it's not really what we're going to look like when you come down. But we just want to talk about just some examples of things that we're not going to be honoring. Things like PLTs at the end of the day. PLTs fall where they fall. Classes with a certain teacher. Changing classes or lunch to be with friends. That's a popular one. And these next two actually have been requests. That PE be at the end of the day, so you don't have to sit in your sweat all day. We've heard that one, which is kind of funny. And then no morning classes because you're just not a morning person. So those are things we won't be honoring. Okay, and so just to summarize, we want you to check for overlaps and circle them. We want you to list any classes you would like to drop on top in the top right corner of your page. And if dropping a class puts you under 6 credits, we want you to list 1 or 2 courses you'd like us to try to add in its place. That's an example of when we do have to add another class onto your schedule, but that's sort of out of desperation because you won't have enough credits if you have to drop something. And then hand in your schedule with notes to the homeroom teacher. Now this is really important. If you do have adjustments that you need to make on your schedule, make sure you're checking your email. This is the way that we'll primarily be communicating with you this summer. So we can resolve a lot of issues through email instead of playing phone tag. Okay, so here's our summer hours. Tuesdays from 9 to 1, we will be in our offices. Not all of us will be in. One counselor on these days will be in. So each of us have two Tuesdays during the summer that we're going to be present. But when you come in on a Tuesday, you can see any counselor about your scheduling stuff. So June 21st to July 26th, those are our hours. And then final schedules will be handed out on our district registration day on August 10th. So just our little cartoon lady there says that I became a school counselor so that I could build student schedules all day long, said no school counselor ever. And that is the absolute truth. We love to make sure that you're taking what's important and what makes sense, but we want you to be mindful of what you choose initially so that changing schedules doesn't become, a little overwhelming, I guess. So I guess go ahead, teachers, hand out schedules and certainly communicate with us if you have any questions. Thanks and have a great day and have an awesome summer.